was taken aback when I read part of that some states' cutoff mark is 2 points, and another state is 139. So already we have created a huge gap. So if I score 2 and I'm from a particular state, I will be in the same class as someone who scored 139. I mean, that's no measure of one's IQ or anything. But, I mean, if I were a teacher, I would immediately foresee problems in teaching 2 people with that disparity in their marks to enter this class, as I have seen. It'll take me probably 10 times more energy and effort to explain something to a child who scored 2 than it'll take me to explain to a child who scored 139. So, I mean, this kind of disparity causes one to wonder what kind of adults we're actually bringing up in our educational system. What is your take, please, Professor?
Well, what's going to happen in that situation is we're going to give them average quality.
But average is not good enough.
That's it. It's not good enough. But by doing that and not making it, national, to say the same cutoff point for everybody, we are producing average, maybe in fact less than average, because 2 is so far from 139. And so we're producing less than average students. And you know what? We're seeing them in industry. Somebody got a 2-1 from a Nigerian university, wanted a job, and I gave her a piece of paper, pen, and I said, please write a most important or exciting event in your life. First of all, she sat there for like an hour. 2-1, second-class upper. And then when she finally said she was done, and I read it, I was looking for a personal assistant. And I was like, it's not going to happen.
No.
And I was like, when I have something suitable, which I doubt that I would have, given the quality of writing. Mm-hmm. So we say there are no jobs. There are jobs. It's just that you can't find qualified people. The problem we're going to be having with that disparate situation is, and we're already having it, when a Nigerian goes to, I know a UK institution, when a Nigerian comes for a master's degree, they have to be there for 2 years.
Instead of 1.
Instead of 1. And when somebody comes from Ghana, they do 1 year. It used to be, when I was vice president and dean of academics for my school in the US, it used to be that when we hear that Nigerian students are coming, we're excited because we know they are A students.
Yes.
And we don't have to work too hard with them. You know what now? When we hear Nigerian students are coming, it's like, do we have any remedial sessions that we can put them in? It's sad, but that's the truth. Then that is the kind of problem we're creating.
Okay, if we want to go back to the very beginning, let's go back to primary schools. Professor Jai, if you were to look at primary education in Nigeria and say, these are the things, let's assume the Minister of Education is watching now, Professor Rukayat Rufai, she's watching now, and you want to advise, what should we be doing at primary level? Because I've been in some primary schools lately because of the Channels Kids Cup being primary school focused. And I've seen some of them, the buildings are decrepit, the teachers, some of them just don't know what they're doing, but they're there and they're earning some salary because that's the only thing they can do. And the children...
And they're trading on the side.
On the side, yeah, they're selling everything possible from puff to pure water. So now, what should we be doing? Because if we get the nursery and primary education wrong, it ripples along to secondary and university.
For the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it's just like you building a structure and very, very wobbly the foundation. And that is where we have to start. In the first place, honestly, I think a couple of weeks ago, I went back to my old primary school in my town, Obuayimule in Ekiti State, or Ekiti, Kwara State.
Ekiti, Kwara State?
Ekiti, Kwara State.
That's interesting.
Oh, it's very close to, about 2 kilos to my town. It's those they just took a knife and cut everybody off. And I was sad, because the way I even left that primary school almost donkey years ago, maybe 50 years ago, it's not the way I found it. I was thinking of saying some better things, the structure itself. Looking at the structure of all these schools is the first thing, because the environment was very conducive. The most that going to entice you to go to school. It is where things are okay that you can sit down and say, yes, you want to learn. Then also the equipment that they use in schools, I mean, the elementary school over there, even nursery school, you can see the students very literate in computer science. That is where to start doing that. But if the government want to do anything at all, they should, I don't know what they need to do, they just have to reform all these structures, the buildings. And two, the equipment needed to teach the students. Like me, what is being done on Osun State is very commendable. And all these new things that is available, start teaching these students with those equipments. That is now when you have to actually reconstruct the teachers who are actually going to do that, do the work over there. But the environment there is not even good. Talking about the curriculum, is there. We just have to do something better in this curriculum. We have to actually pattern it towards our own culture, what is within the environment. We don't have to go and borrow from America, from Britain, or from China. Look at what is the environment, look at what is there, look at what students can actually gain and learn from and relate with to actually structure all the curriculum. So doing those things for the students, for the structure, for the curriculum itself, and even for the teachers, will actually help again reach out to the community. It's not just the government doing everything. No, let the community get involved also. The PTA is there, you have to be informed as to the challenges they are facing in the school so that they can be part of it. They could come back and do some lecturing and do some mentoring program for the students. It will encourage them to even be able to say they want to learn and stay in school.
So I was going to ask, based on what Professor Giles just said, on the one hand, we can say that the school system is horrible, the infrastructure are
non-existent,
almost non-existent, and the curriculum, it's a bit dodgy, for want of a better word to use. Now, what should parents be doing? Because you've been abroad for years, and some of us here have had, yes, we've had children abroad and we've lived there. And we know that parents have to sit with the children to do homework on a consistent basis. In fact, in a place like UK, you have parents who are so aggressive about the grades of their children to the point where they're helping their children do the homework just to make sure that they get the grades. And in fact, it was in one of the newspapers on television this morning in the UK where a mother had to help the child do the exam so that that child gets a better grade. But it seems in Nigeria the parents are not paying attention. Where do we start from with that one to get the parents engaged, and what should they be doing?
Well, apart from what they can do at home, we need to bring them into the classroom. If we have any parents who are educated enough and they have an hour or 2 hours to spare a week, it's a system that worked very well in the US, for example. So you have a classroom mom who comes in and helps the teacher so that the teacher can spend more time doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is teaching the children. So a classroom mom would help with some of the administrative work, help with some of the records.